a huge boost for us to get more international hikers. And I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Thank you.
Takla?
Hello. Sta'la Khwairi. I'm from Lebanon and I work with the Lebanon Mountain Trail Association. I'm a community development and education coordinator on the trail and also an accessible tourism trainer.
Great, thank you.
Welcome.
Adam, we'll work through my screen.
Okay, hello. My name's Adam Skerritt, also sometimes known as Mythwalker. So my work recently has involved me walking a long-distance trail, the Southwest Coast Path in England, and linking it up coast to coast to make a circle, and walking through the ancient myths and folklore of the land. So combining sort of academic research in my MA in mythology with an experiential undertaking of sleeping out in the Celtic cliff castles and tuning into the spirit of the land and trying to weave the two in a poetic way into a book, which I've finally finished and now beginning to edit.
Wonderful, thanks Adam. And Adam will be presenting later on in our seminar series, so join to hear him. Gordon?
Hello, I'm here representing Refugee Tales, which is a project of the Gatwick Detainees Welfare Group. And since 2016, we've been walking in solidarity with people with lived experience of immigration detention in the UK. I'm here really to see what you're doing today and with a view to perhaps presenting at some point in the future.
Brilliant, thank you. Sheena?
Hi everyone, I'm Sheena. I have a background in architecture and international development and community engagement, and I'm here today to participate and listen in to what our guest speakers have to say. Thank you.
Thanks, Sheena. Joan?
I'm Joan. I'm a volunteer with Connecticut. I live in London, or East London. I enjoy walking, and I'm about to go to Costa Rica on a holiday on the 30th of January. So I'll be especially interested in that today. Not a walking holiday, but a holiday with some walking.
Oh, that's terrible.
I walk everywhere else.
Carol?
Hi, I'm a walking artist in the United States. I live in Delaware, which is like just south of Philadelphia, between Philadelphia and Baltimore, small state. And I'm here just to listen, to enjoy. I've done some long walks from my ancestral home in Maryland, doing research on my family's legacy to slavery. My great-great-grandfather was an enslaver, and I've done research on the last humans who were enslaved on the property, which our family still owns. And I'm currently this year doing a research and walking with Edgar Allan Poe's footsteps, and today's his birthday. So, so I'm happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Sorry, Ellie?
I just said excellent, yeah.
Joanne?
Hello, everybody. I'm Jo. I'm an artist researcher and from the UK, but I've just moved to central Portugal. So I've been making sound walks, geolocated sound walks for the last few years, mainly in urban environments, but now I've moved to a very rural space, so I'm interested in exploring those kinds of landscapes as well through walking and sound walking in particular. So I'm here to listen and learn and to find out more about the different projects. So thank you very much for holding these, and I look forward to hearing more. I'll probably have to turn my camera off at various points because of bad internet connection, but lovely to see everybody.
Great, thank you for joining. Is it Serkan?
Yeah, yes, hi everyone.
Hi, do you want to just provide a short introduction to yourself?
Okay. Hi everyone, this is Serkan. I'm an artist and academic. I'm doing my PhD in in Ottawa, in Canada, Carleton University on architecture, on urban walking trails. And as an artist, I've already practiced, and one of my artworks is about urban walking trail in Istanbul. I'm from Turkey, Istanbul, which deals with urban expansion, gentrification, all such kind of issues related to urbanism in Istanbul, in megapolises. Yeah, so that's about it. And yeah, good to be with you today.
Yeah, great. We had a very interesting talk along those lines from Charlie Fox. So if you check the website, I don't know if you were there, I can't remember, but if not, there's a recording of it.
Yeah, I was here.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And then finally, Trans-Bhutan Trail. Are you there, please? Okay, no, staying silent. So yeah, Conchita is going to lead, and I believe has a. Oh no, yes.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
You're muted.
Okay, sorry, I was having a little bit of a network trouble.
Hi.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Sering. I'm the Executive Director of Trans-Bhutan Trail. And so at the Trans-Bhutan Trail, we're trying to see how we can get work with the community and try to promote community engagement, because at the core of it, the Trans-Bhutan Trail really is trying to help the communities grow. So I was really interested in the topic today, so I thought I'll come and check it out. It's so nice to meet everybody. I'm so sorry, my camera is going to be turned off because I have really bad network.
Yeah, lovely to see you. Yeah.
Yeah, all good. Okay, over to you, Conchita.
Well, great. Thank you very much. I had prepared a little talk where I would tell you a little bit about how we developed El Camino de Costa Rica and why, and then giving you a little bit of the context of all the different layers we have been trying to build onto the basic trail, of which the art and culture is one of the layers. All throughout our work, community engagement is the fundamental basis, and I'll tell you why that is. And then I was going to tell you exactly what we had done on our arts and culture program, of which there's a lot of work to be done. So just to tell you about how it all started, my husband and I did the Camino de Compostela for my 60th birthday as a celebration. I highly recommend it. Then we retired, and he is from Costa Rica, so we went to live in Costa Rica. And then we got there, and we saw this beautiful country, and all the tourists go to 3 or 4 different places and the beaches in the Northwest. And then there's all these beautiful villages in valleys, in mountains, all these incredible waterfalls and rivers, and a whole set of indigenous cultures, which nobody visited, not even the Costa Ricans visit or know about. And so we were crazy enough to say, why don't we use the model of Compostela and design a trail from the Caribbean to the Pacific? We thought that was a catchy idea. And so we did. And that was in 2012. And the first thing we did is we just talked with all the people within the hiking communities in Costa Rica and all our friends and family. And everybody we talked to said, oh, that's a great idea. And some of the people who had done Compostela said, oh, I had that idea when I did Compostela. And so we pulled together a lot of interesting and interested people. And then we started consulting the communities and designing the trail. And we had a set of criteria. We wanted it to go through the most beautiful possible part of Costa Rica, but that it would be doable, that it wouldn't be so difficult to do. And that it would go through communities who needed the tourism, communities that actually wanted to have more tourism. And so this process of consultation took about 4 years. And then we finally, by 2000, 17, we had the trail designed, and we then tested the concept by taking people on the trail. And we finally launched it in December of 2018. So that's the general context. All along, the community engagement was fundamental, because although there were some ideas of getting, big investments in building lodges and things like that, we really didn't want that. We wanted it to be the communities that were providing the services for the hikers. Now, these are very poor communities with very little capacity to develop green enterprises or any kind of tourism enterprises, communities that needed fundamental infrastructure, like there were schools that didn't have potable water. There were places where there was no lodging at all. And so most of our work has been to do that kind of very basic infrastructure, capacity building, etc. So I think that before I tell you, well, no, let's get the context of, so the trail has the basic layer of a hiking experience, an experience that really takes the hikers 280 kilometers, divided into 16 stages. And that's the fundamental. We want people to come from all over the world, and the people in Costa Rica who live, 4 million of the 6 million people in Costa Rica live in what's called the greater metropolitan area. And, they don't know the rest of their country very well, except the beaches. And so we wanted those people, some of them not hikers, to go out and to experience the trail. And that has happened. We now have 600 of those people from the capital hiking the trail every month. And it has been a wonderful thing for them and for the communities. And what we don't have yet are international hikers. And that is our big effort now for the coming years. So that's the hiking part. Then there is a whole part of a layer of the trail, which is to highlight the flora and the fauna and the fungi of the trail. And so we've developed special programs to bring that knowledge out along the trail, do a lot of capacity building, do some signage related to what can be seen in that section of the trail. Very slowly, we still have a long way to go, but we have some wonderful people who know a great deal about the mushrooms and fungi of different parts of the trail. And that has been very, very exciting. They're extraordinary things. The insects, there's these incredibly colorful insects in Costa Rica. I just marvel every time they show me a picture of it. And so that's another layer. The other is the history and the traditions of the communities. They live with those traditions. They don't really have a good grasp on how to showcase them or how to really make them more available to the hiker. So we work with them on that whole layer of developing the way of expressing their traditions. One of the examples is that we built with the indigenous people in Ciobata a cultural space. You would call it a museum. They don't like the word museum, so we respect that and we call it a cultural space. There's no electricity in the village, so we put, solar panels, and we work with the elders because the young people didn't know about their own traditions. We worked with the elders to be able to pull together the objects that represented their tradition and the stories about their mythology, their cosmovision. And so we built this together. It was money from New Zealand, which was very interesting because in New Zealand, they also have an interest in their indigenous population. And so we've made that connection with them. I don't know, Ali, were you able to see the Casas Cosmogónicas in Ciobata?
Well, you'll have to remind me which one it was.
These were in the village at the end of the most difficult, section 3, the most difficult part where you walk through the primary forest.
Oh, yes, we did. Yes, it was fantastic. Yeah, that was near the school, wasn't it?
Near the school, yes.
Yeah,
And so
we
these
stayed
were
there.
built with traditional materials. Then we had anyway, so that's an example of the kind of work we do with them. And then we have our arts and culture program that I can tell you a little bit more. But if you let me share the screen, I can try to put that video.
I think I did that already, didn't I?
You did that? Okay, all right.
Yes, yeah.
There we go.
Camino de Costa Rica, I am a better and prouder Costa Rican. That is what Presi, a hiker, said when she finished the route. My name is Mónica Quesada Cordero, and today with my colleagues Conchita Espino, Yoconda Nieto, and Heidi Smith, we will present El Camino de Costa Rica, an epic journey to a deep, meaningful, and first-hand experience of Costa Rica. Probably everyone here has either come or knows something about our country. Costa Rica is a biodiversity hotspot. And to put it in perspective, of the 365 known species of hummingbirds, which are native to the Americas, there are only 15 species in North America and over 50 in tiny Costa Rica. But a big part of the picture is missing here, our people, the ticos, and our rich and diverse culture. We have 8 indigenous groups, we have a rich Afro-descendant community, we have a long history of European heritage, and we continue to blend with people from all over the world. As a result, this vibrant diversity has permeated our culture, our gastronomy, and our arts. We are proud of our roots.
And now Costa Rica has a long-distance trail that crosses the Caribbean to the Pacific. El Camino de Costa Rica is composed of 280 kilometers of rural roads and mountain paths with 9,000 meters of cumulative ascent. Hikers will be treated to breathtaking scenery showcasing our unique tropical flora and fauna. The route was designed to be challenging, but accessible to all levels of hiking, with or without logistic support. Along the route, there are a variety of lodgings available: tented camps, family-owned cabins, mountain huts, rustic lodges with restaurants, and some beautiful forest hotels offering yoga and gourmet vegetarian meals. A hot spring spa is also part of the route. Birding experts and biologists are available for early morning bird watching and night feature tours. Today, about 400 hikers per month experience at least one of the 16 stages of El Camino de Costa Rica. The route takes the average hiker 2 weeks to complete, although some hikers have done it in 7 days. No matter how you choose to cross from coast to coast, you will experience 6 different ecosystems and enjoy dramatic changes from tropical rain to cool mountain air.
In order to maintain and market the route, ensure international standards, and promote conservation and economic development for the communities, Asociación Maramar was created in 2015. Today, this NGO trains and supports dozens of entrepreneurs along the route and has implemented reforestation and environmental education programs. As one of Maramar's board members says, El Camino de Costa Rica allows hikers to hike with a purpose. Indeed, every hiker has the opportunity to have a tangible impact on the communities as a result of their visit. As of today, there are 25 rural communities on the route. More than 45 new businesses have grown, and over 300 families have benefited from El Camino de Costa Rica, from improvements in basic services to new sources of income. It is these entrepreneurs who make the experience so lasting. They are the ones sharing their culture, gastronomy, traditions, and stories with the hikers. Their communities are far away from the traditional tourism of beach and sun. One of these entrepreneurs is the Mena family. Rancho Turístico was about to close when Maramar approached the Menas to become part of the route. Today, Rancho Turístico is a thriving business that supports 3 generations of the Mena family. while hikers have lunch served on a banana leaf in this rustic mountaintop restaurant, they can enjoy a spectacular view of the Pacific Ocean for the first time. Today, we're working on enhancing the safety of hikers with specific projects like signage and strengthening relationships with organizations, public and private, so they can be part of and contribute to the project. Capacity building and training along the route is a constant for Maramar.
When we designed El Camino de Costa Rica, we wanted to ensure hikers experience the rich diversity of Costa Rica, both wild and human, safely. One of our highlights is the crossing of an indigenous territory through primary forest, where Cabeca guides will take you through amazing landscapes and share their culture. Early solo hikers in 2019 might have camped roughing it under a tarp, in a pasture, along a riverbank, or on the porch of a village school. Today's through hikers can still opt to sleep on that school porch, or they can enjoy an expanded array of accommodations. There's lodging every 20 kilometers. Some stretches of the trail involve rugged jungle paths with scant markings, river crossings, abundant natural hazards, think poisonous snakes and frogs, no communication services, and few other travelers. While you can hike solo, our friendly and knowledgeable guides can make the experience that much more memorable, historically, culturally, and ecologically. As an experienced hiker, you don't need any special gear, but come prepared both physically and mentally for constant changes in climate: rain, sun, heat, and cold. It is, after all, the tropics. Along the route, you will encounter a variety of food and arts and craft products you may want to take home. Anything from our world-famous coffee to indigenous basketry. If you're a day pack hiker and don't want to carry all your gear, don't worry. Bag transportation services are available.
Jovan, an experienced hiker from Vancouver, said that there is nothing like El Camino de Costa Rica with the variety of challenges and experiences it has to offer. He is one of the 900 hikers that have completed the coast-to-coast trek. This is a tropical hike with some cool mountain sections, rural roads, and primary forest trails, and people that open their hearts to you and share their traditions and worldview. El Camino de Costa Rica is a transformative experience as you cross the American continent and discover Costa Rica's soul. Visit our website, caminodecostarica.org, where you will find everything you need to plan your trip and contact us with your questions. Be part of the story of El Camino de Costa Rica. Leave your footprint on our trail. Having just finished El Camino de Costa Rica.
Great. Ali, how much time do I have?
I think you can have another 5 minutes.
Okay, great.
Enough? Yeah.
Sure. So I'll tell you about our arts and culture program. We started with the idea that we wanted to have a sculpture that represented Costa Rica in each of the sections. And well, it was easier said than done. So far we have 2, but the first one was very exciting because the artist had heard about us, and he was the one who suggested it. And he said that he would give us part of this installation that he had in exchange for being able to do the hike, and that during the hike he would develop drawings that then he would do for fundraising for us. So we thought that was a grand idea. And what he had done is that from China, Costa Rica imports the materials for doing banners, big, the plastic banners. So many companies had these, and they would throw away the packaging. And the packaging was these cylinders made of carton this thick, with a hole in the middle where the plastic thing came. And he thought this was a really terrific thing. So he collected about 50 of them. And what he did, he drew a tree on the cartons. So he had this installation of 50 of these big cylinders. And it was like he was recreating a forest. So these cartons that had been trees were now converted back into artistic trees. And so what he did is he gave us 5 of them, and we built the structure so that they would be protected along the trail. I don't know whether you saw that, Ali. This was in section 10 in Verdesana, in the entrance of Verdesana, one of the more upscale lodges.
I'm not sure that we did see that, no. Maybe we didn't go to that lodge, yeah.
Maybe you didn't. That would have been really unfortunate, because that's such a lovely place. And so this is in a little house open for the hikers to see, and it's Rescuing the Forest is what it's called. And in another one, another of the sculptures that we did is a cairn that is traditionally used to mark trails. So we had a sculptor who did this. Then we've had about 3 different projects of public art. One has been the local artists painting the telephone poles, and they make these beautiful murals on each of the telephone poles, and they mark the Camino in addition to beautifying the community. We also had the businesses at the entrance of the last part of the trail. We painted murals with the message of rescuing the corals and protecting the marine species that are in danger of extinction. And then in the town where we're trying to build a biodiversity center, we have all the businesses little by little having murals about biodiversity. So that's our public art initiative there. Then we have individual part of the program that has to do first helping women who are artisans. We give them capacity building on how to develop their businesses so that they can be more productive, they can identify their markets, they can keep records, invest in cost and benefits of investments, etc. And in addition, we are now trying to get the women artisans. We have a network of women artisans along the Camino, and we're trying to help them join them with the national program that is Art with Identity that the Agency of Tourism in Costa Rica has. But it's a big government program, and our artisans are not very well versed in having access to these programs. So we serve as the connector to help them become part of this program. And that's part of what we're doing now. So that our program has those 2 sections. One is the public art initiatives, and the other ones are the individual artisans. But I speak as though this is, done. And really, as Ali knows from having been there, we're at the very beginning of trying to really foment the art and culture part of the Camino. That layer really needs a lot of more work. So that's it. If you have any questions, I'm happy to entertain them, or maybe we have a discussion at the end of the session. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Conchita. That was absolutely great. Lovely to go back to a little bit into Costa Rica, and some really interesting questions there around the development of the women artisans. I think we will hear from Tekla on the Lebanese trail, and then we can open up a broader discussion on it would be really interesting to hear about the impact it's had on the host communities in both countries. So yes,
Can
let's
I share screen?
yeah, you should be able to do that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I will show you a small video about Lebanon Mountain Trail and the through hike, especially the through hike, the experience on the Lebanon Mountain Trail, and then I will tell you some stories, real stories, and what we do on the trail. Okay. Can you see my screen?
No.
No.
Not yet. Okay, that's okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay. You can see it now?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The sound doesn't seem to be working.
What?
The sound is not working.
You're on
Oh, it's-
mute in the video. You're on mute in the video.
Why is okay? Wait a second, just a second. I don't know why. Mute on the video.
Mm,
What? What? Hold on.
is it online somewhere like YouTube? If so, you could share a link and
No, it's not online. I don't have it online.
okay.
How do I? Second, just a second. You don't hear anything, huh?
No.
No. Okay.
You were just over the place you needed to click.
Where?
Move to the left. Move your arrow to the left a little bit more. Oops, no. Down at the bottom. Move to the left. That's left. Yeah, the other way.
Yes.
The other way. No, the other way.
Okay. The other way.
No, further the other way.
Which way?
To the other way.
This one?
There.
Yeah, that way.
A little more. More. There. Click. Whoops. There.
Ah, okay. Thank you, Conchita. Now you hear?
Thanks, Conchita.
Yes? No?
Can you hear it on your end?
Yeah.
That's strange.
I don't know what's.
Maybe you can talk us through it.
I don't know what should I do. Tell me what should I do.
Can I help? Can I help? You hear me?
Yes, definitely.
Okay, if you click on the bottom, there is a share screen. Click on the Zoom.
Where?
Oh, my one. Yeah.
And you need to click advanced over there. And there in advanced, you can share the you can share the sound.
Can you?
I think Takla can do it as well. Like if you click the share screen, or you stop the screen sharing and then restart again. During this process, you will have a another window which shows you which screen you need to select. Do you have it?
Okay, share screen, yes.
On top,
Share
there is
sound.
basic.
Okay, share sound. You mean share sound?
Yes, share sound. Just click over there,
Okay.
please.
I think now it's.
I'm from Australia.
Yeah?
From the Netherlands.
We've got people coming from all over the world here to get a taste of the Middle East and to see what's going on rather than reading it on the international news media. And this is the best way to do it.
And I'm Lebanese American.
كل سنة تروح هيك إلا النكهة تبعيتها، إن كان بالدرب سنة بنعمله شمال جنوب، سنة بنعمله جنوب شمال، على طول في عندك ناس جداد عم بيجوا بتتعرفي على عالم، بتشوفي حتى الدرب كمان بحد ذاته بطقسه بطبيعته بموسمه بالأرض بالتوجه تبعه كله بيتغير.
This trail takes you to places that like views that I wouldn't have imagined that Lebanon has.
نحن اليوم بنطلع الناس على الدرب لأنه منآمن أنه لبنان عنده غنى إنساني أكبر منه. بلاقي يمكن المهمة الأساسية هو للبنانية بقلبها.
ربينا بالحرب، ما بنعرف بلدنا، تركت لبنان بكتير زعل وبكتير أنجر، يعني ما كنت أحس إنه ما بدي شيء له علاقة بلبنان. بس كل ما عم بكبر حسيت حسيت انه بدي اتعرف على مين انا ومين الروتس تبعي وبلدي و explore different parts of Lebanon. ضيع ما سمع فيها، ما عرفي existed.
الشغلة هي أبعد من أنه حط شنطة على ظهري وعربش جبال وأقطع ودين.
And I guess what'll stay with us most about the trail is our contact with the people.
It's about connecting.
ننزل إحنا ببيوت في الضيعة، نتعرف على ثقافة الضيعة، ناكل أكلات الجبل اللبناني. هذا إشي بس مميز للبنان وبس بلبنان، وهذا الإشي رح يخليني أضل أرجع على درب الجبل اللبناني.
هو الأساس درب الجبل اللي فتح البيوت وخلينا نستقطب البقايا.
It's been so immersive.
It's a unique experience.
I don't think words can describe that. You have to experience that as a through walker and feel that what goes through your mind when it's over.
I'm hopeful من وراء my experience مع الألمتين. لبنان في أمل. يعني أنتوا اللي عملتوه بهال10 سنين is way beyond any imagination.
أنا دوري إنه فرجي هالناس الشقف الحلو والشق الحلو لحتى نحمي الدرب كله سوا، نعملوا محمية طبيعية درب الجبل اللبناني أقله.
Hike it, protect it.
Hike it, protect it.
Hike it, protect it.
امشي لا تحميه.
Wow.
Okay. This is our hike it, protected. So, I don't have a lot to talk about because the video it's talking about the Lebanon Mountain Trail, but I want to share with you the experiences you live on the Lebanon Mountain Trail. Each village in Lebanon, the Lebanon Mountain Trail, it's 480 kilometer, and it's cross around 80 villages in Lebanon. If you want to hike all the trail, you need 1 month to hike all the Lebanon Mountain Trail. So in each cluster in Lebanon, you have different culture, you have different religious culture, you have different, because you know in Lebanon we have lots of religious cultural from Sunnah, Shia, Druze, or Maronite. But each cluster in Lebanon, they have their own tradition, their own culture, their own food and everything. So on the trail, you can find like if you cross Rashaya zone in the Druze area, Rashaya, the hiker will experience the grape, the molasses make. You pick your own grape and you do your own molasses, and you can take your own molasses with you. In Jizin, you can do your own knives. You can craft your own knife, and you can take this knife. It's a traditional craft. We do it in the area of Jizin. In Maasir, it's in another area. In Maasir, you can do the donkey experience. There is a farm. A farmer who have like 15 donkeys. You can take the donkey on a ride, and you go to the tree house and do lavender distillation, and you can take your lavender with you. You can live the experience of the Lebanese food in the Shuf area. Do food making with wild edible plant. You do your own foraging. You forage your own plant, and you learn how to cook them. You do a traditional food with the wild edible plant. This is in Barouk area. We have also the music experience. In Lebanon, we have Zajal. Zajal, it's a traditional way of singing poetry. So you can write your own poetry, and you do it with a custom, a Lebanese custom. You can sing your own poetry in Duma area. You have each village have their own tradition, and you live this experience by imitating those tradition. In the trail also, you can do the arak making. It's our alcoholic drink. You do also your own arak in Aura, and while you're hiking in the guest houses. In every section on Lebanon Mountain Trail, we have like 27 sections and six side trails. In every section, we have guest houses. You can stay at the guest houses. And each guest house, they have their own experience. Each hiker can live this experience whenever you cross by this guest house. On the trail, we also do experience with public schools, all the public schools on the trail. Do with them experience like wild pottery or maintain the trail. They learn how to maintain, how to do maintenance on the trail, and they help hikers and give the hikers like a small workshop on how to maintain the section on their village. This is the work we do as education program with the public school on the LMT. We also do the accessible tourism project. It's a chair for people with disability, do hike on the trail with the 3 local guides. And also people with impaired vision also can do hike with divers with two local guides. Also, it was a project with the Católica University de Valencia, collaboration between the Spanish. We did this project, the accessible tourism on the trail. And we also do, just a second. We also do the geology experience. We have on the Lebanon Mountain Trail, for now, we have 2 geosites, one in Jeambey area, in Byblos area, and the other up north in Akkar. It's like 6 geosites. The hiker can live the geology experience. The local guide can talk about a kind of stone. They do wild pottery with them. They do caving. Know the relation between water and geology. They also do climbing. It's all on the geosites on the geotrail on the LMP. It's a new, our newest project on the Lebanon Mountain Trail, the geotrail. We also have the experience with sheepers. We call it in Lebanon, we call it hal. It can help the sheepers to take the sheep from high up the mountain to the cities. It's a 4-day hiking with goats and sheep, and they stay in the tent with the sheepers and their families. We also what do we have? Caving. We also do the seeds picking or seeds collabing with the reserves, especially Tanurine reserves and up in the north. We forage for wild seeds, and they plant the seeds. We also plant with the hikers. We plant cedars in up in and we have the basketry making and the crochet and weaving making in some of the village with the local women in Akkar. So I think this is all about Lebanon Mountain. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Beautiful.
Yes.
So let's open it up for questions and discussion. Both really fantastic trails that seem to me, obviously my first-hand experience of the Camino de Costa Rica was fantastic to really feel that you could be walking through and engaging with the communities. And it seems from this short presentation that the Lebanon Mountain Trail offers an equally in-depth experience. So I'm just really interested to open it up to think about how those 2 trails are engaging local communities. And I'd really love to hear a little bit about the impact that it's had on the communities, you know, and how they feel about receiving the trail. So, yeah.
Well, I might just say a little bit to your last point, Ali, that one of the things that gives me greatest joy is to see one of the women post on Facebook a photo of hikers eating in the little makeshift restaurant that she's developed in front of her house, and just saying, I give thanks to God for a little work today. Or someone else showing a picture of the hikers and say, with this, I can send my son to school, because there's not the high schools are not in every town, and so there's expenses. Even though the education is free, there's expenses. In order for a child to be able to go to school, they need to live with an aunt or someone in the major city. So she puts that, and it's, you see the impact in terms of that. Or a woman who said, the Camino has changed my life and the life of my family just by the work that it has brought us to be. So that to me is, it's not a statistical representation of the impact, but for me, it says a lot.
Definitely. Anybody like to jump in here with some questions or just some feedback for those two wonderful presentations?
So I have a question. When are you all?
Oh, Gordon's going to come in, I think.
Please go on. I will.
No, please, you go.
Okay, thanks. Yeah, thanks for the presentations. Both are really interesting. I just want to comment that the Lebanese trail Takla, the project about the visually impaired people is really wonderful. Like I haven't seen any incident previously about impaired people and like how they can manage to walk. That's an interesting perspective. And yeah, I just wanted to congratulate on that.
Thank you.
Shukran.
Yes, thank you for this. It's actually it's a directional bar. Two local guides can handle it from both sides, and the people with impaired vision they handle it in the middle. And we did training for 1 year. All the local guide on the Lebanon Mountain Trail use this directional bar, and we bought a directional bar. It was a funded project by UNDP. We brought Lebanon 5 Joelat. It's an accessible chair, and we put it in the 5 reserve on the LMT. And we bought to each village 1 directional bar. The local guides can use it when they have impaired vision on the trail. If there is with disability who want to walk on the trail, they can use the accessible chair on the 5 in the 5 reserves on the LM. It's a very important, engaging program, and it have a big impact on the impaired vision community and the people with disability community.
Oh yeah. Do you have such kind of like visuals about that? Like how you manage people to walk?
Videos?
Videos of the instruments
I will
that
try to find. To find some video, and maybe I will share it in the end of this session. Yeah, I will try to find some video.
Thanks a lot. And I had one question actually, like so, and also I would like to discuss the relationship, like as just Ali mentioned, the trails with the indigenous population, the relation of the trails with the indigenous population, especially in the case of the Costa Rica, and like mostly about like what are the roles of indigenous population in the decision-making processes, you know, like also not just about being the, you know, the scepter, the ones that affecting the trail, but also how do they take place in this decision-making process, especially about like the route creation, organization, maintenance, you know. So what is their agency around this? That's, I think, also an important aspect. Yeah, please.
Conchita, yeah.
So the trail has 16 sections, and 2 of them are through the indigenous territory, and they have full decision making on how where the trail goes, what gets built on the trail, what gets charged, who guides it. Their territory is 100% their decision making, and we respect a great deal everything that has to do with that section of the trail, not the rest of the trails, but those 2 sections. They have full control over everything. We, in fact, have some villages that they wanted hikers to go to that are not continuous with the rest of the Camino, but we also accommodated that in terms of, you know, it seemed, and at least for the local folks, those are interesting options for them to go to. So 100% full decision-making control of those sections of the trail. We also have an initiative with them in which they are leaders at the table with the national park that's contiguous to their territory, and an initiative related to biodiversity, the Center for Biodiversity. So even the architecture of the Center for Biodiversity will take into account the architectural ideas of the indigenous community. So yes, we definitely give them full control and decision making. And
Thank you. Are there?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry, please.
No. Go ahead.
Okay. Are they like beside their own territory? Are they also making the decisions about the old trail? Like, are there
No.
any members
They're not
in the
interested.
board for it?
They're not interested in that. If they wanted to, they could, but they are for they only really want to do that for their territory. They actually don't want to have very much to do with the rest of the trail. But they are part of the conversation. They're part of the organizations that have to do with the rest of the trail, but they very seldom want to have anything to do about any other part of the trail. That particular part of the indigenous population of Costa Rica is the least assimilated or developed. In other words, they are really living subsistence level, and they're actually organized in such a way that they are only interested in their community. They don't even want to have anything to say about another community within their territory. They're very compartmentalized, and that's something that it's hard for us. We want them all to collaborate. We want them all to participate. And that's part of what we need to learn, that that's not what they want. You know, they want to focus very close to their own community and have a say on that and not on anybody else's. So that was part of the learning, actually.
I mean, for me, that was one of the things that I found really surprising, because Conchita organized a day where all the communities from different parts of the territory came together, and, you know, their desire to be very separate came out very strongly. They were happy to share about their cultures, but they didn't particularly want an interactive exchange with Western culture.
I'm just struck by how deep the ecological principles of both projects are. It's like a core identity for both, and hearing and experiencing the Lebanon Mountain Trail a little bit and their focus on cedar trees and reforesting some of the land, and the Hike It, Protect It slogan or ethos. And yeah, just really interested how that could share some kind of like wisdom or learning for trail destinations that don't have access to maybe such magnificent kind of ecologies. And yeah, recognizing the intimacy these people have along the trail with their particular trail locations, and perhaps seeing how that learning could be transferred to other locations, say in urban settings. Like how does that exchange happen? Because in a way it speaks to our relationship to the natural world. And if we can nourish and nurture that in more urban settings or in less spectacular settings, that would seem to point a way of some kind of healing in the space of humans relating to their surroundings, and just how important that is in creating trail identities. But just wanted to share that.
I wanted to ask Takia, that is such a great that is such a great phrase, hike it, protect it, whether we can steal it.
Yes, it's our goal in the next in the future. We're working now on trail standard to maintain and to protect this mountain, our mountain. So we took this phrase, this slogan or logo, whatever it's called, hike it, protect it. Yani, if you want to hike it and you want to find, let's say, find job opportunities in your village, you need to protect this trail, have this ability to find jobs, and you stay in your village and have like job opportunities. So Hike It, Protect It was the highlight of our work in Lebanon.
Really good.
Yeah.
So it's 5 o'clock, but if anybody has more questions, I'm happy to stay on for a bit. Or feedback?
Yeah. I'm trying to find a small video about the accessible tourism. I don't have a video about the vision, but I have a small video about the accessible chair on the LMP. I will, if we have time, I can show you this video. Okay.
I have to say, I'm very inspired. I'd like to go and walk the Lebanon Mountain Trail.
Allah, waiting for you, for all of you.
I'll go with you.
We have lots of special experience.
We'll make it happen.
We have lots of wonderful experience on the trail.
How long is a through hike? Is it a month?
You can. We have the through hike. It's a month's walking. And we have the full track. It's about 15. We do the half of the trail, 15-day walking. You can join one of them, or you can come and you can organize your own hiking with the local guide and with the local guides and guest houses. So you can do your own hike and organize your own week if you want.
Maybe you can share the link,
Yeah,
Takia, and then we can people can play it in their own time.
Yeah, I'm trying to share the video with you. But it takes a little bit of time. Just a second, 2 minutes.
I liked very much the idea of the schools being involved in the maintenance. we have the schools, we have extracurricular environmental clubs that we're starting to do in all the schools, and they're very much involved in the community, but we hadn't thought about that. And so I really like that.
Yeah, we work with all the, yeah, we work with the public and private school on the village around the trail, and we do like two programs. We have the Trail to Every Classroom. This is, we do it with all the public school and the private school, and we have the championship program. It's a camp for 5 days. We take 15 kids between 12 to 16, half of them from private school and half of them from public school. And we live the experience of the trail through hiking, and live the experience and sleep over at the guest houses, and with an environmental program for 5 days. I have 2 programs in Lebanon, in the mountain trail. Yes, now هلأني I'm gonna share with you. 10 seconds. Okay. يلا.
أنا بعاني من إعاقة اسمها شلل دماغي، لأني خلقت بالشهر السابع وخلق عندي نقص بالأكسجين. كل شيء بحياتي بده إفور كتير أعمله، وكان كتير صعب إني أكون عم فكر بأنشطة رياضية أو قصص أتسلى، ومنهم هذا الشيء اللي عم بعمله اليوم أنا بمحمية تنورين. كتير 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 محمس على هيدي الاكسبيرينس، ولانه حلو انه في ناس فكرت بهذا الشيء، فكرت انه هول الاشخاص من حقهم ينبسطوا ويتسلوا، ويكون حدا عم بيعمل ايفور كرمالهم. اشخاص ما عندهم اعاقه عم بيساعدونا تنعيش معهم هالاكسبيرينس، لانه من دونهم ما بنقدر نعيش، وهذا الشيء اللي بيخلي انه سوا بنقدر نوصل لمحلات كتير حلوة وكتير بتطور مجتمعنا، وبتخلينا نكون كلنا مندمجين بقلب المجتمع، وكلنا مبسوطين لأنه سوا منعيش. اكتشفت أنه أنا بالأول إنسان وإعاقتي، وأنا ممكن تلقى إنسانيتي. إذا أنا بدي أطلع على الضعف اللي فيي ما رح أقدر أوصل لمحل. أنا بدي ساعد الناس تطلع على نقاط القوة اللي فيي، تنقدر سوا نعمل مجتمع أفضل. فعلا كان قلبي عم يرقص، واني اقدر اعيش هالاكسبيرينس بافور حدا غيري كان عن جد اكسبيرينس بعقد، شيء لا يوصف، وحلم تحقق، فعلا حلم تحقق.
Yay!
Wow.
Yes. So it's my accessible tourism is like my child. I'm a trainer on this project, and it's so inspiring, and especially for people with disability. It's a dream come true, actually. Yeah.
Wow. Congratulations. That's absolutely fantastic. Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, if maybe you can share the link, or when Henry gets back in touch with you, we can share it with everybody else. I think that would be, I know for one, I'm looking at Joan here, that would be great to show some of our young people in Thurrock that experience. And I wondered, Takla, do you do it where you have international schools from other countries? Do they come and visit you, or is that a possibility?
Yes, we didn't, not yet, but we work with, you know, with not school, it's individual who like to do volunteering on the trail, especially on the education program. So we have lots of foreigner volunteers, but we didn't yet collaborate with an international school. It would be great to do this, actually. It's a great idea to do collaboration with international. For the accessible tourism, we did it with the Cattolica Cattolica Università di Valencia with this collaboration, but just for the accessible tourism. Yeah, but not for the education.
Conchita, can you imagine if we got kids from all over
Yes.
Israel to come together? That would be so
From
fantastic.
Costa Rica to Lebanon and from Lebanon to Costa Rica. It
Yeah.
would be crazy.
Let's definitely do it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, let's do it. Fabulous.
The
Well,
next step.
the next step, definitely. Well, I think that's a really good note to sort of conclude our session today. And thank you very much, Conchita and Teclia, for your really wonderful presentations. And I think we can, if you're not connected, we can connect you. So that might be really useful to keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
So,
Please,
yeah.
thank you.
It would be great. Thank you.
Henry, can you remind me what's next month? I think it's Manjit, isn't it?
It's the Calcutta tours, yes.
Yeah. So yeah, thank you very much for coming. Do come again and do share with other people, your friends or artists or trail hikers, because it's really this has been really great today. And I think to build this community be fantastic. So yeah, next month is Manjit Singh from Kolkata, who I know that I think Gordon met Manjit, who does a really wonderful, this is urban tour, so Serkan's gone now, but a really fantastic insight into the different cultures in central Kolkata. So again, really different. So look forward to seeing you next month.
And they're photography tours, right? Are they? Or
Yeah, the Kolkata photo tours, but so he's a really fantastic photographer himself, but really he's done a really amazing job and of engaging the local communities. There's lots of different religious communities and cultural communities that live in that part of Kolkata. It's a trading area, so you know, from Chinese, Jewish, obviously Hindu, Muslim, Christian, all the kind of different, and the different architecture, and they all kind of, it's how you can imagine that Kolkata was once very much the kind of London of the world. And so you get to kind of really get inside some of those kind of communities. So really
it's very visual. You don't have to have a camera.
Yeah, but
You
he
can
started that.
use your memory.
Yeah. So yeah, good. All right, thank you everybody. Have a lovely weekend, and
Thank you guys. Have a lovely weekend.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for having us.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Teclia, for coming.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. That was, I'll just turn the recording off if I can.